What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever's popping on social media. Please hit the like, subscribe, your notification bell, and share the video because that's how others find me right here on YouTube. Then make sure you are following me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. So, you guys, today we are giving you the official sister review for episode 28 of this season, Love and Marriage Huntsville. What is up, Clone? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
You guys, this is my actual sister. So we are just going to talk through these scenes. It was a, nice and sweet episode, not a whole lot to it. So we're just going to start talking through the scenes and y'all can let us know how you feel about things in the comments. Okay, so talk back. Okay, so let's start with this Minnesota fat scene. This was a double date between Stormy and her husband Courtney and Scott 1.0. Um, I said I didn't think that the scene was actually real, but basically they're supposed to come have this double date. Marceau and Tisha are late. They are notoriously late for all things. The reunion, other scenes, they show up in this scene an hour and a half late, and Stormy's fit to be tied, right? But when they get there, she's playing it up for the camera at first. And then I think it all hits her like a ton of bricks when Marceau starts to become condescending. And I was asking the question whether or not it was a fake scene, which a lot of people did agree on the live, but you have a different take. So what's
hmm
what's your take, Sissy?
This scene, okay, this situation resonates with me. I've been in
Mhm.
this situation before, both, in the corporate office and outside of it. I don't have patience for men that act like this. And I
Okay.
think sometimes when you anticipate that they're going to be D-bags,
Mm-hmm.
your defenses immediately go up. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you flip a switch and you're going to go from 0 to 10 in a matter of seconds. And I think that's where she was. I think that she knows that she is not a good match for him, as a verbal sparring partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her only defense is to really go ham on him. And she didn't want to. So she walked out of the scene,
Okay.
which I was okay with. Like I said, I've been there, and she tells you in another scene in this episode. She says, "Look, I am not a 10 speed. I have 2 speeds.
Mm-hmm. That
I'm
was
on or
good.
off.
Her that's what's up. See?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Exactly. That's what's up. Or get the f out of my face." She
Okay.
tells you that, and I get it because I don't have patience for men that behave that way either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people like that, they know what gets under your skin, and they're ready to pounce on you at any time because they want to see you come out of character. So that's what I felt that this was. He starts to give her a speech. I mean, he brings up the whole, oh, it's not a part of your culture and blah blah blah, and she's like, I'm not down for this. I don't want to try to hear you throw something back in my face, and I'm not down for whatever speech you're about to give me. You ain't my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
We already hit this a while ago. I'm done with it. I'm done with it, and I'm done with you.
Well, I can say this. Um, Marceau has a history of doing this to people. He gets under people's skin like this, whether it was Tisha's mom, and he also has a way of making people feel like they're not very bright. Like,
hmm
and I could tell that she was kind of falling in a similar role as, and I'll just say it like early seasons, Tisha used to get really upset because she thought that Mel would play, word trickery with her. And she was like, I know how you are. Melody's very smart and she likes to do X, Y, and Z with her words. Well, for
Beat
us
them. Okay, go ahead.
it just felt like normal conversation. Like we were confused by it, but
hmm
she was clearly intimidated by it.
Right.
And that's what I got out of that part with with Stormy and Marcel. I'm like, Stormy's intimidated by Marcel a little bit when it comes to the verbal sparring. She just want to get right to it. Like, I will whoop your motherfucking ass,
Mhm.
okay? And that's it.
Yes.
And she's like, it's because he's condescending. The problem with that is she is also condescending. She is also a gaslighter, and all of those things that Kimmy said when they're at the restaurant. It's just that she's not as good as him.
And maybe that frustrates her.
It frustrates her. And
Mhm.
I've seen this when Wanda was on. Wanda used to do the same thing that we are seeing Stormy do right now. Marceau would spin circles around Wanda when they would go into the little verbal spar match. And then Wanda would end it with, you know, I'll whoop your Marceau.
Mhm.
Okay. So that was how it ended. And that's very much what it was giving me. But I don't know. Y'all can let us know in the comments what y'all thought. That's where I am with it, though.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you have anything else you want to add to this scene?
No, just that I was okay with it. She just needed to walk out because she was going to do something with that pool stick that he wasn't going to be ready for. So,
Minnesota Fats and the Pooh Stick.
so
Okay,
she needed to walk out.
okay, well, let's get to the next scene, which was the therapy session between Maurice and Kimmy. It
Right.
was mind numbing.
Yeah,
It,
I got to be honest with you. I can't do these two. I can't do these two with this subject. I I don't know. I already said that, Maurice needs to beg production to retape these scenes. Clearly he hasn't done it.
and nothing's gonna come of that show.
No.
I will say
And
that. Mhm.
I'm sorry. And the fact that when he makes the comment and she just looks at him and pauses,
What
waiting
comment?
for him to, like, when he makes the comment, it's all in your head, or it's all in your mind, Kimmy.
Mhm.
Um, and she just kind of just pauses, like looks at him. You could see like a pause go over her face, and then she just goes right into whatever else she's about to say. I can't do it. I can't do it. If you're not willing to check this fool where he stands and let him know that he's a sucker MC and he's never going to get any better, that's cool. That's your marriage. I can't stop you from it. But I can't add legs to something that is creeping and crawling all over the place.
Okay. My thoughts are when Kimmy first got sick, I said that her life is going to be forever changed with everybody, all of the relationships.
Right.
Her relationship with her husband is going to be the hardest because we already knew there were challenges in that marriage before she got sick. And the challenge was that you are definitely way too mature in all things spiritually, emotionally, physically, education wise. You're smarter than him. You're everything better than him, period. And you've dumbed yourself down all the way down to the ground for Maurice. And everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you seem to think that if you shut up and let him talk and make you look bad, that he is still the man. He gets to walk away and still feel like a man. But you are sitting there looking like less than human. So right now there is some unaired footage that dropped where Kimmy actually says that her and Maurice are more separate than they've ever been in all things. And I think that that is about as accurate as it gets. The rest of whatever was going on in that scene, it didn't play well for me. So we
Mm-hmm.
get to here. I think that the therapist was probably as bored as this one is. So we can move on, child. Okay. The next scene up was, um, I think if they were at the restaurant, right?
Correct.
So the Fletchers invite all of the friend group to this new restaurant in Huntsville where um, they are going to discuss a cast trip in Houston. Everyone shows up except for Lewis and Tiffany, who were actually invited but had to turn them down. And then Kiki and her husband weren't invited. They weren't invited, they weren't mentioned, they weren't anything. And I'm saying this because this is clearly the setup to what's going to happen in episode 29 tomorrow. I am losing my voice and I apologize. I'm struggling through this, but we're going to get through it. Okay.
Yep.
But either way, everybody comes in, and in this scene, um, we know right away that Melody and Martell are not talking, not getting along. She does not speak to him again, right?
Right.
Martell, who has said in previous scenes this season that him and Mel are okay, they're cool, talk all the time, did not speak one word to each
Mm-mm.
other. And Melody actually said off screen, I didn't know he was coming, and I probably would have made different choices if I had known, right?
Right.
Okay. But outside of that, everybody else seems good except for Kiki, except for Stormy's husband Courtney, and Tisha and Marcel. Now, this is crazy because Tisha and Marcel are like, we're not actually invested in anything that Stormy and Courtney have going on. We don't know them. They are acquaintances at best. And Stormy and Courtney seem to be taking things real personal. At least Stormy is with Marcel. So,
Right.
um, do you want to add anything else to this scene?
No. The only thing that I would really love for Stormy to do is she had a little spar with him in the first scene.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't super serious. So don't give it more energy than it deserves. Like you had it, you're done with it. Next scene, just be cool. You don't have to sit down and have an actual conversation with them.
So you're
Just
saying
be
that
cool.
she shouldn't be carrying this all the way into another scene.
Right. Chill out, honey bunny.
And so that's why I asked if it was fake, because she didn't have to come to the table with that. This
Right.
is what she says. I got two speeds. That's what's up. And I wish a mother effer would, right?
Right. Right.
Those are the only scenes.
Right.
So those are the only scenes. We also find out here that Melody has a conversation with Nell Fletcher, where she says, I'm cool with going on the cast trip. However, she said, don't don't pair me with Martell on anything. If there's any type of activities, I don't want to be paired with them. I don't want people joking around and saying our names together. No, this is a no for me. And Nell Fletcher said, I already know, and I've talked to Chris about it. So, I think it was a setup scene to let us know as well. Melody's very clever with how she gets information out to the audience. She said,
Mhm.
I don't have to tell you guys what's going on with me and Martell at this point. Everybody knows. She's letting everyone know that all that stuff that came out regarding the Revenge P plot, everybody knows about it. Production, the cast, and the audience. So that's where we are. She actually came out, I think, last week and made a post. A
Mhm.
lot of people had an opportunity to see it, where she basically said it was God's grace that she was able to stay out of prison and show up to work to make her coins versus letting what Martell had done keep her ashamed, embarrassed, and in the house. So she said, if people have never been in her position, move around. And then she also said that this is her reality. She said she's bringing her reality to reality TV. She's not going to be fake. She's not going to hide her feelings. So I was, she's talking back right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how that scene ends. Then they all make it to the house, child. Now I found this little this little video,
Um,
but yeah,
yeah.
it's supposed to be a kumbaya at the house, but not so much. As soon as Melody walks in the house, the Fletchers come in first. As soon as Melody came in, she had to check Chris Fletcher.
Yes.
Did you
We see
notice
a
that?
different side of Chris Fletcher in this episode where he's a bit more playful.
Okay. Playful's one word. um, Chris is very reserved, very introspective.
Mhm.
And now we're about to see his fun side, I guess, his turn up side,
Uh-huh.
right? But
Yep.
yeah, they all come into the house. Now, this is where I also found interesting. I like to see these little things happen. Melody does not want, I don't think she wants the conversation about the revenge P to
Mm,
happen amongst the cast, even though they all know. Because there was a scene where after everyone gets there, there's two things that happen. I'm going to talk about the last thing though first, and then we'll talk about what Martell did in his confessional. But when everyone gets there and they're like, "Where's our rooms? We're excited," blah blah blah. Um, Nell Fletcher says, "I'm going to get you guys your rooms. Everyone's been assigned based on relationships and situations."
right.
And the second she said that, Melody's entire face changed. She was like, "What are you doing?" She was fit to be tied. Child, she was like, "I am pissed."
Right.
She said that, I was like, "Uh-oh, she did not want you to say that." And I'm wondering if she's like, thinking, you know how production is. What did you mean by relationships and situations? So I
Right.
immediately saw her reaction to that. Um, but they also tried to get Martell to talk about it a little bit. Did you peep that?
I did peep it.
Okay. So he's asked specifically because Melody doesn't talk to him.
Hmm.
Melody just doesn't say a word to him when he comes in, but he goes into confessional and he becomes a hot, fidgety ass mess.
Yeah. The touching of the face. He's tugging on his jacket. He's moving around like he's standing up, like a little bit of standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. He can't get comfortable, even though the words that are coming out of his mouth say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm comfortable. I don't have a problem."
Well, he's a yeah, his the words might be saying, "I don't have a problem." He actually said that. He said, "I don't have a problem, Bill. I don't care. Whether she's here or not. I don't have a problem." But his eyes were actually saying, "Who gives a fuck?" Okay, he was cursing in his head. He
Yeah.
felt that Melody. He doesn't like that Melody isn't playing it off like they are cool in the aftermath of
Right.
all of this mess.
Right. He wants
All
to
of,
do one thing in private and then, keep a poker face in public.
right
He
again,
wants her to.
right again. He wants her to pretend like what happened to her didn't happen to
About
her.
that. Right.
So I can't wait to see what goes down on Saturday. Yeah, like I said, I think we still got 2 weeks, two weeks and some change left in the month. So the revelations are still coming. So let's talk about the next scene, which was who was in the next scene.
I believe it goes to Tisha and Marcel.
Yeah, let's go, Tisha and Marcel. We're not talking about you know who anymore. Okay, Tisha and Marcel and this pregnancy test. Oh Lord, they get into a little bit of a fake spat. Um, Tisha says, "Oh, I want you to know I took a pregnancy test. I took a pregnancy test because I was gaining some weight and I was sick. And, my body was telling me after 3 kids that I might have been pregnant again." And Marceau says, "Well, what the hell you been up to where you thought you was pregnant again?" He basically says what Kimmy said.
Hmm.
Why didn't you think you had the stomach flu?
Right. How did you go to that conclusion?
Right. You could have had a whole bunch of things, but pregnancy should have been the last thing on your mind.
Right.
And so he says that out loud. She's like, "Listen, I know a lot of people who husbands have had a vasectomy and they ended up getting pregnant." And he said, "Do the babies look like their husband's child?"
Right.
Marcel was a pistol. He said, "Do the babies look like their husbands?" And it went downhill from there. Tisha said, "If you ever try to make me take a DNA test, I will leave your ass." And he said, "Well, how would that be possible when I've already left you?" Now, there was a lot of debate on what was actually meant when he said that, but he was clearly saying, if you come to me and tell me that you've taken a pregnancy test, I would have already been out the door, right?
Right? I am
So
not sticking around for these type of shenanigans. The same shit she should have been saying to him for, I don't know, all seasons.
the same thing she should have said to him when he said, "I done packed my bags to go to Colombia." Is that where he went?
Yeah.
Okay. But I did hear, I was, searching around on the social media streets. They said that he actually went on a boys' trip with Kimmy's son, Jalen. So,
Okay.
but they're all frat. So they have all that frat stuff going on.
Hmm.
But that's pretty much it, you guys. That's how the scenes end. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about everything. Hopefully, we touched on something that was, a little different than what you've heard previously. But go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, your notification bell, share the video, of course. And thank you, Miss Clone, for coming on and talking with me this morning about episode 28. And we will do it all again for the next one.
Bye.
Bye bye, ciao.